If you've ever thought about gambling, you might want to think twice. You need to watch this video by Sports Bible. Absolutely amazing.
I used to get up in the morning, start an argument with my wife. You know, it weren't great at the time. And she'd go, why don't you get out and go to the flat? And I'd have it all planned. I'd have money. I'd take the laptop round. I'd take all my drink round or go to the off licence, and I'll sit there for 3 days on one, just gamble till everything's gone, everything. And then I go back and go, I'm really sorry.
Wow.
Hello, mate. How you doing? Okay.
Yeah, right? Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, buddy.
Good. Hi, mate. I'm Paul Merson. Used to be a professional footballer, played for Arsenal, Villa, Portsmouth, Middlesbrough, and played for England.
So he had money.
Now I work on Sky.
And I'm Jack, also Pieface, and I make YouTube videos and I stream on the website Twitch, mainly involved in like FIFA and football.
How did your experience of gambling start?
Experience of gambling started really with my first wage pack. Well, I just signed for Arsenal. I was on a youth training scheme, £100 a month.
I went into this video watching and thinking that he doesn't have any money, you know, whatever it is, but it seems like he was quite well off. And for this to happen to someone who's got money, and now I don't know the situation if he actually ended up losing everything, but I'm super curious to find out. You, average normie, you need to watch out. If this could happen to him, it can happen to you.
Park. I'd never been in a betting shop. I was 16 years of age. I never had a bet in my life. I walked in there. It was like walking onto a spaceship. Just completely and utterly took me out the way I felt. The buzz, the atmosphere. You know, I was a shy kid at the time. You know, very insecure, and it just took me out. I just couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. I lost every penny, and after that, that was it. Believe it or not, usually people go, oh, I lost everything, that was it. Mainly people who get into addiction, it's like, I won a lorry load of money, and then that's where it started. Mine was the other way around. It just completely and utterly took me out the way I felt.
That's crazy, because when I was younger...
We literally just said the exact same words. That is crazy. I went to the casino, all my days, guys, you would not believe it. Lost a ton of money. First ever time at university with one of my friends, Paul. And yes, ever since that loss, I said, I'm never stepping foot in this place ever again. Until today, never done it.
Completely and utterly took me out the way I felt.
That's crazy, because when I was younger, it was almost the same thing. As a kid, I used to just mess around on, you know, the smaller fruit machines, not the adult ones, you know, the ones that you can play at a young age. And then being in school, someone, I think it was the same in the bookies. They come into school with a load of notes. This was when I was 18, an absolute load of notes. Oh, how'd you get that? Oh, just, you know, played roulette in the bookies. Oh, okay, well, I'll go in there with you next time. You know, as you said, the first time was a disaster. I lost 20, 30 quid, whatever it was, which when you're 18 is a lot of money. But that first time you then turn 20, 30 quid into £300, you think, wow, this is easy unbelievable money. Until it spirals. And yeah, that's how I got into it. And then, yeah, the downward spiral, shall we say.
So
I think the feeling addicts. I had when I was gambling was literally about getting the way out I felt, because it didn't matter how much I won. Whatever I won, the next bet was going on, and if I lost, the next bet was going on. You know, I bet every single time I ever bet, I bet till I got to zero, to zero, and it was getting out the way I felt. The money was
demonic.
You know, it was irrelevant. And I don't mean that in a horrible way, but it was the addiction. The addiction takes over, and it completely and utterly, all you do is 100% every minute of the day think of gambling, whether it be what you're going to bet on next, how am I going to get money. Everything takes you over.
Yeah, and I resonate with that so much, though, because it's exactly the same, whether it was like, as you say, it's 6 to 4 done, isn't it? Next thing done, and it's all about. It's not just about the money. Obviously, it is about the money. You are gambling to win, but it's just like the rush is what's crazy. It's not about how much you win, because it's just your next bet, as you said, and it's whether it's on that day. It doesn't even matter on that day. If you want £1,000, like if I want £1,000, I'd be absolutely buzzing, but I couldn't sleep because I know the next day it was going again, and it would be, oh, it's all right, I'll just do 50 of it, and you know, an hour later it's all gone, and then goes another 500 that I had stashed away, and then I've got nothing left for 2 weeks. So it's
that's where that's exactly where it takes you. Is where I could be winning bundles of money, lose a bet, and I would chase that bet back like you couldn't catch your breath. Like my rationale couldn't tell me that you're still winning, Paul. That was just a loser. And that's where it takes the addiction completely and utterly takes you
To the next
over.
level.
You know, it's just the rationale it just goes out the window. I just find it, you know, even now when I sit here talking about it, and I haven't had a bet for over 2 years, I can still feel that pain, that, you know, chase. That's the difference between a compulsive gambler and normal people that bet. I mean, I used to go in the pub and everybody be on their phones and they have their bet and they win and they go, oh great, and I'll be like, what now? You're gonna go and smash it on something else. Do you know what I mean? I'm betting on Deal or No Deal with a mate of mine. We're betting on boxes. Who's got the most money in each box? I mean, couldn't do anything without having a bet. I couldn't watch anything. No sport, no nothing. I give me no interest at all. It's just mind blowing what it does, the brain, what the addiction does to the brain.
So in terms of like gambling on stuff, I mean, for me, it was mainly like machines and stuff was probably my sort of like, you know, the kryptonite, the one thing that got me most. I mean, the roulette machines in the bookies, just so dangerous. £50, £100 spins, you know, you could do it like it was nothing. And I think it was the fact that it was so like fast and quick. You could spin it so quickly. I mean, you could, you know, it was the belief that you could turn 50 quid into £500 in 5 minutes, and you know that's 2 weeks' work done. I've had nights where, like, legitimately have gone through probably 50 websites where they have like free sign-up bonuses. Just 'cause I've got no money, just to literally give me some sort of hit, like 10 free spins, turning like £3 trying to turn it into a tenner. Just like not even about the stake. Just the fact to see it spinning, and in my head to think I'm gambling. So it's just mental. That was for me anyway.
Yeah, mine started off with the horses, and the dogs, and then it was just sport. I loved sport. I loved that longevity. You know, I'd put 6 figures on a sport. I'd find it hard to put it on a roulette table and just go too quick for me. I need that longevity, and that's what it was like, whether it be basketball, rugby or football, or cricket, where you're getting so high up here and then all of a sudden you lose a wicket and you fall down here. And I got addicted to the feelings, if I'm being honest as well, you know, the hurt and the happiness, you know, and the addiction of keep on chasing, where am I going to get money from? And that become an addiction in itself. Who can I lend money off? Who can I bring up to date? You know, the one thing I found with gambling, you become a professional liar. It's become so good at lying, it's dangerous. Like,
right now I know a couple who's going through this, and the guy is a expert at lying. His wife has caught him so many times, but he's an expert of getting out of it. You become an expert manipulator. That's what he is. He's very good at manipulating. So this guy is completely right. Wow.
If you go out drinking, you come in and you say to the wife, she goes, where are you? You make something up. In a couple of weeks, she will catch you, because she'll say it and you'll forget what you even said because you were drunk. With gambling, you become such an unbelievable liar.
When did you realise you were struggling with your gambling?
Wow.
Good
a
question.
long time ago, and I still lost thousands and thousands and thousands, and kept on going back thinking the result will be different and I'll win next time. Yeah, I mean, it's quite sad really that when you sit there and you think about how long ago you knew you had a problem. I mean, you know, I went into treatment, one of the top treatment centres in the whole of America, if not in the whole of the world, for gambling addiction, and still come out and 4 years later thought, no, I can do it this time. I can do it. I can be that. So a long time ago, you know, and when you have thoughts of killing yourself and you want to kill yourself to end it because you can't go anymore,
wow.
that tells you you're not well, you know, how bad you are. And my addiction will still tell me, it's all right. You do it properly. Do it properly. In 1991, and we're talking about, I finished 2 years ago at 53. So in 91, I just won the league with Arsenal for the second time in 3 years. I got home.
That's insane, because he's confirming this. He's played for Arsenal, so he had money. He had money. But for him, even him to fall down that trap, which a lot of bowlers, football players, you see them, they always love going casino and gambling, but they fail to realize that, wait, this money is going to stop coming in one day. If this habit solidifies, I am finished. I am completely done.
I just bought a 4-bedroom house over in Wheat Hampstead, and I was sitting there standing. I was sitting there on a sofa with concrete. I didn't have carpet. I chose to gamble my money away instead of buying carpet. And that was like that for months. And I was getting good money where I could have easily gone, I'm going to buy a carpet. And I chose for the addiction over the carpet.
When I was probably in early 20s, I moved into a shared house. And on that same day, I had paid my rent to move in. The spare money that I had to buy everything for furnishing to put in there, I lost all that on the same day. And luckily, a mate of mine helped me out and bailed me out. If I didn't have that, I would have been screwed. So I resonate with that so much. Like, I know it's on a slightly different scale, but it's still exactly the same outcome. Like, I knew when I was young, I knew I was, even before I was 18, I knew I had some sort of issue, because whether it was just like in the social club playing the quiz machine, I knew it wasn't just about like the quiz, it was the whole rush that there was like money on the line and there was some sort of like gambling edge. I think like when it comes to everyday life, like gambling addiction can properly mess with your head, whether it was when I started streaming with it or when I was, back working in Mackey's, like it just literally takes over because there's nothing else I could think of. So even on a good day or a bad day, it was just gamble, gamble, gamble.
Yeah, I can relate to that 100%. I mean, completely. And I'll go to the off license and I'll sit there for 3 days on one, just gamble till everything's gone, everything.
So this is the part that we saw at the beginning where he mentioned he goes somewhere and just sit there for 3 days and just gamble until everything is gone. Let's listen to it.
I'd have money. I'd take the and we had to move because the little one was getting bigger. It was 1 bedroom, so we moved to this house, but we still had the apartment. I used to this is how my brain used to work. I used to get up in the morning, start an argument with my wife. It weren't great at the time, and she'd go, "Why don't you get out and go to the flat?" And I'd have it all planned. I'd have money. I'd take the laptop round. I take all my drink round or go to the off license and I'll sit there for 3 days on one, just gamble till everything's gone, everything. And then I go back and go, I'm really sorry. Really
what a
sorry.
Life. What a life.
That's how manipulating this addiction is, that I had that planned in my head, like that she's going to just go to the flat. My life now is beyond belief compared to what it was like, and before I was earning millions. I earn nothing like that anymore, and my life's 100 times better. Do you know what I mean? It's 100 times better, and there is help out there for people.
That is such a humbling thing to be able to say. He used to earn millions and now he doesn't earn that. So he's basically telling us he's no longer a millionaire. He gambled his life and everything away. Look, I've always taken things like this super serious. Whenever you hear it come from someone who's got experience in something that you wish to never get into, if you're wise, you should keep your mouth quiet and just listen. Even if you feel like you might not learn anything, no problem. Just listen, because there's something of value that's going to come out of their mouth. Let's see what the comment section is saying. Take a real man to talk openly about things like this. Massive respect. All deserve help. 100%. 100%. Let me like that. Gambling is so normalized in the UK. I think advertising for gambling should be a lot stricter. Treat it as alcohol and I hear it. 100%. 100%. So yeah, everyone in the comment section just skimming it through, absolute legends speaking about it. 100%. Everyone's for it. I challenge you, if you're addicted, just seek help, because there are people who've done unimaginable things because they didn't want to seek help. They were trapped. They basically gambled away everything. They felt like they had nothing left, and there was only one option out, which was not a good option, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let me know, did this resonate with you? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know any stories if you used to be a gambler in the comment section down below as well. Like the video and share it with a friend. I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless.